It's unclear who set Chris Brown off, but he's been on a rampage the past few days, and it seems like he's finally ready to expose the dark side of the industry, especially when it comes to Jay Z. Chris Brown still hasn't fully bounced back from the fallout of his 2009 incident with Rihanna, and fans think he's gearing up to reveal what really happened that night. But it doesn't stop there. Rumor has it he's also planning to expose some serious secrets about Jay Z and Diddy, including years of shady dealings and private chaos. People are saying we're about to see just how deep this rabbit hole goes, and it sounds like it's very deep. If you've been following the drama, you know Jay Z's name always seems to surface whenever the Rihanna-Chris Brown story is brought up. That's because Rihanna was seen as one of Jay Z's biggest investments at the time, and fans believe he may have manipulated the narrative to make Chris look like the villain. One of the first people to publicly question Jay Z's role was Jaguar Wright. She didn't just claim Jay Z signed Rihanna, she alleged he trafficked her from Barbados under the guise of a music deal. According to Jaguar, Jay Z even paid Rihanna's father $500,000 once she was brought to the US.
Discovered Rihanna at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room on the island where she comes from, with no parental supervision. And then she was put on a private plane, a minor, from one country to another without parental supervision. And she ended up in a boardroom with Mr. Carter without parental supervision. Y'all got young children. Would you just let your daughter leave and go to a whole other country with some because you don't know?
Absolutely not.
Doing talent shows at 3 a.m.
So you're saying that the rumors are true. There are rumors circulating that Rihanna was actually here. Are you saying that
Starting to sound that way, because her daddy ain't show up till 24 hours later to pick up a $500,000 check for his daughter's ass. Maybe we should look more into that album, Auntie. That album cover was disturbing. A child bride with a crown over her head and blood smeared on her face. I don't know. How don't people see SOSs anymore?
Rihanna eventually came to the US alone at just 16 years old, and it's been said that Jay Z pressured her into signing a contract with his label. Reports claim he kept her in an office until 3 a.m., determined to close the deal no matter what. And let's be honest, keeping a teenager in a building that late at night raises more than a few red flags. What makes it even more disturbing is a story Rihanna once shared in an interview. She claimed Jay Z told her he'd throw her out the window of his 27th floor office if she didn't sign the contract.
Nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
You had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Hungry Play. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
Yeah. So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yeah, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door.
Oh, then he said, he said the whole word.
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are 2 ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure working with Jay Z, you've met Beyonce.
Pressuring a 16-year-old girl in the middle of the night is already bad enough, but using threats to force her into signing a contract, that's a whole new level of shady. Let's not forget, Rihanna was still a minor at the time, so not only is this morally questionable, it's legally murky too. There's a real concern about whether Jay Z even had the right to sign her without a parent or legal guardian present. And to make matters worse, Rihanna didn't have a lawyer with her, no one to explain what she was agreeing to, or to protect her interests. For all she knew, she could have been signing away her entire future. So yeah, fans have every reason to believe Jay Z saw Rihanna as a high-stakes investment. If her career fell apart because of a scandal, he stood to lose millions. That's allegedly why he worked so hard to control the narrative around the 2009 incident with Chris Brown. And now, guess who fans are saying might have been at the center of the whole thing? Diddy. Word on the street is that Chris Brown is now claiming Jay Z pressured him to take the fall, to play the bad guy in the situation. Even though, according to Chris, Rihanna was actually the one in the wrong that night. Allegedly, Jay Z was doing major damage control, trying to protect not just Rihanna's image, but his own. Because if people had found out Rihanna was cheating on Chris, they might have started digging, and that trail could have led straight to Jay Z. And considering he was married to Beyoncé at the time, that kind of scandal would have blown up everything. Rihanna has said that the infamous fight began because she believed Chris was cheating. In an interview, she recalled, "I caught him in a lie, and he wouldn't tell the truth, and I wouldn't drop it. I couldn't take that he kept lying to me, and he couldn't take that I wouldn't drop it. It escalated into him being towards me, and it was ugly. I was battered, I was bleeding, I was swollen in my face." She also admitted the relationship was extremely toxic, saying, "The more in love we became, the more dangerous we became for each other, equally dangerous, because it was a bit of an obsession." Sure, on the surface it might look like Chris Brown is just trying to rewrite history to save face, especially given the backlash he's faced for his treatment of women over the years. But here's the twist. Jaguar Wright has stepped in to co-sign his story. She's backing him up, claiming there's way more to the situation than the public was ever told.
I don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
Ooh, my.
Like, how the did you know what I mean? Like people don't understand what happened that night. And that's because Jay Z worked so hard to change the narrative of that.
Jaguar Wright didn't hold back. She took things even further by co-signing the long-standing rumors that Jay Z and Rihanna were allegedly more than just mentor and protege. But she didn't stop there because she clearly came with receipts. According to her, Rihanna's team intentionally set up her relationship with Chris Brown to distract the public from the growing whispers about her and Jay Z. It was all part of a larger strategy to shift attention. So while the world was caught up in watching Rihanna and Chris's high-profile young romance unfold, the real scandal was quietly being hidden in the background.
Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started her and signed to the death jail. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most involved with, and that was Sean Carter. So here it is. Chris Brown has his first herpes outbreak from a celebrity girlfriend who he was set up with, and it was supposed to be this and it was supposed to be that, and he was there so people wouldn't pay attention to the fact that she was crazy, underage.
And then there's the bombshell. Chris reportedly caught Rihanna in some seriously compromising situations at a party.
Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. And that first night, when he had that outbreak and he busted in his house and said, "Where the f is this dirty bitch?" I can't fault him for that. He had this is beautiful, tall, wonderful. Chris Brown, she didn't ruin him. She ruined him at 19 years old. He's got the Jay Z herpes. And Rihanna ain't innocent. Because she was in there giving that nigga in the coat closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, always.
Now fans are starting to put the pieces together, and guess who they're saying threw that wild party in the first place? Diddy. Yeah, no surprise there, because that type of party sounds exactly like Diddy's signature style. According to Jaguar Wright, the event was full-on freaky, with people allegedly performing explicit acts and even spreading herpes like it was some kind of party favor. Sound familiar? It lines up almost exactly with the rumors we've heard for years about Diddy's infamous freak-offs. And when you factor in Diddy's tight relationship with Jay Z, it's not a stretch to start connecting the dots. Diddy himself once said that Jay Z is the only person allowed to call him by his real name, Sean. That's how close they are.
One person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
Outside of my mother.
Okay, just
that should be calling me. Yeah, they should be calling me.
So yeah, it pretty much goes without saying. Jay Z and Diddy are thicker than thieves, and that's exactly why fans are convinced Diddy was involved in the alleged plot to sabotage Chris Brown's career in order to protect Jay Z's major investment, Rihanna. Oh, and now that Diddy is facing serious trafficking charges, fans are starting to connect even more dots. Because, surprise, Jay Z was also reportedly investigated by federal authorities for similar accusations. Like the saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. And these two, they've been flocking hard for years. Remember when Rihanna's former publicist came forward claiming he was the one who planted the rumor about Rihanna and Jay Z having an affair? He said it was a PR stunt to help boost the success of her breakout single Pon de Replay. In his words, "The PR stunt I did was out of desperation to help break Pon de Replay. It was reckless and I didn't think it was going to work. I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what stuck. I didn't expect it to become such a big story." Now, knowing people are still profiting off the speculation turns my stomach. I'm ashamed I'm even talking about this. I just want to put the rumor to rest once and for all. But here's the twist. He later admitted he lied to take the heat off Rihanna. He went on to reveal that federal investigators had questioned him about Jay Z, claiming the rapper was allegedly involved in passing around young women in the industry. He described a chilling encounter where unmarked law enforcement vehicles pulled him over, and he was escorted to a makeshift interrogation room. There, the gravity of the situation sank in. According to him, the federal task force told him they had been keeping close tabs on Jay Z ever since his association with Lance Rivera, and they were also investigating a violent incident involving R. Kelly during their joint tour. Most shocking of all, they claimed Jay Z was allegedly involved in a sexual relationship with underage Rihanna, and that he had transported her across international borders. Even worse, they said she wasn't the only one. So far, nothing has officially come out of that investigation. But let's not forget, it took the feds over a decade of watching Diddy before they made any moves against him. So Jay Z might not be in the clear just yet. At this point, having matching charges with your bestie is wild business. And based on everything that's come to light, it seems like Chris Brown truly believes Jay Z might have had a hand in the whole mess with Diddy. It's all a hot mess. But what do y'all think? Could there be real truth behind Chris's claims? Or is this just a sympathy play to win back public favor? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check out the next video.